If you had to describe the UFC with one fighter, who would that fighter be? Blake, you want to take the reins on this one first?
Sure. Okay. I like this question. For me, I thought that Michael Bisping would be the best embodiment of what the UFC I think is trying to stand for. This dude, he would do whatever it took to provide for his family. I mean, the guy comes over from England. He was a successful fighter in England, didn't have like the most, craziest career over there, but he still like made it happen. There was a few times he was going to drop out and just start working a regular job, but persevered, got his chance.
Wasn't he working in the butcher shop? Is that what I heard on one of the Joe Rogan experiences?
I couldn't tell you for sure.
I believe he was working in the butcher on the ranch.
Wow.
He was doing hard work, is what he was doing.
Doesn't surprise me because he's a hardworking man.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that really impresses me the most is, and I don't think people found this out until recently. Like everyone always joked about it because he always had a messed up looking eye after that crazy hit that he took against man. Who the heck was that guy that hit him? Silva, was it? Man, who was that? Wanderlei Silva? No, I can't remember who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But someone jacked up his eye ridiculously bad, and it was one of those jacked up Brazilian guys. And so
there's a lot of those.
Yeah. And so basically, like, since that fight, his eye's been all screwed up, and everyone would always be, joking like, "Oh yeah, Bisping only has one eye." Well, surprise, he did only have one eye.
Vitor Belfort. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was against
Thank you.
Vitor
I
Belfort.
could not freaking remember his name. Thank you.
Got you.
But yeah, so he messed up Bisping's eye basically for the rest of his career, and he's still after that fight.
The iris or the retina or something. I think he detached the retina.
He just
I'm not a doctor, but he effed up his eye.
His eye's gone.
Let's not go that far. Well, that's not too far off, if we're being honest.
If we're being honest,
really he basically did. His eye is no more. He can't see out of it. But yeah, I think that the fact that he was still able to go and reach the pinnacle of the sport, still get the title after that, still,
that
makes
title
tons
win
of money
for him was one of the more like great stories that have ever come out of UFC. It was amazing. Short notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
Great fight. Love that. One of my favorite moments.
Man, that was like really
how's that
satisfying.
For a show, fellas? How's that for a next show? Or we list our favorite moments in UFC history. I think that's money. Yeah.
Possibly. But yeah,
hey,
back
keep
to
eye
Bisping.
out, everyone, all you fans.
Back to Bisping. Stop interrupting, Ross. Okay, we're trying to get the shine on Bisping. Jeez.
Sorry, Michael.
Let Bisping have his moment.
I'm sorry, Michael. Please forgive me, Mr. Bisping.
The fact that he's able to master the art of being entertaining inside and outside of the octagon just shows how versatile he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, his jacked up eye shows the heart of a champion. He's willing to sacrifice anything. He knows that he's already got a disadvantage, but he's not using that as an excuse. He's just using it as more motivation to get the job done. He also commentates now for UFC, commentates as well as analyzes and, just hosts a podcast as well. So
the Believe You Me podcast. I
do that.
Great show. Though.
So I think the dude has a lot going on. It's crazy kind of the development his career took. You guys probably weren't too involved in watching the UFC when he was first getting his first crack of fame, like around UFC 100, which was a crazy good card too. That was another one of the cards that wasn't the first card I watched, but that was like the first card that I would say that was the card that got me interested into MMA. After that card, I was like, okay, yup, I'm watching the Rashad Evans versus Rampage Jackson fight for sure. That's just how it happened after that. But yeah, back then Michael Bisping was way more of a heel than he was later on in his career, where he kind of took that turn and knocked out Luke, got redemption, and then started hunting for GSP and all that, and got redemption against Dan Henderson. Like UFC 100 was his first fight against Dan Henderson, where he got H-bombed. Oh my God, dude! And that was after the Tough season, because if you guys don't know, he was on Tough. He was a coach.
Oh, he was great on Tough. That was one of my favorite seasons.
And he was a contestant as well, didn't he win Tough? Pretty sure he won Tough too.
Yeah, he was all over Tough.
Yeah. But dude, that season was wild. So yeah, Michael Bisping has done it all. He in my opinion is if I had to put someone onto a fighter in the UFC and be like, yo, study his career, that's probably the guy that I would go to, just out of the pure fact that like you'll hit everything. You'll hit the peaks, you'll hit the valleys, you'll hit the pits, like you'll hit everything with his career.
Blake, since I'm not even interrupting you now, but yeah, Bisping did win season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter. He was the second light heavyweight winner of The Ultimate Fighter, actually.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So,
he's made a lot of money.
And also, I know you guys also saw that clip when he was on the Ariel Helwani show and he took out his eye while they're live.
I used to have a kid in daycare, or not daycare, but CDI at the elementary school.
Yeah.
A kid used to do that at my CDI, bro. It was so disgusting.
What a savage!
Creeps me out. I can't do that. I can't watch that.
Hey Blake, watch this. I'm playing.
in your opinion,
dude,
who embodies the UFC?
I don't. For me, I feel like it's gonna sound really bad because we keep bringing up Conor. Like, I am a big Conor fan, but like I'm not trying to. It's just currently where it is like right now.
Kind of tugging them right now.
I know, just a little bit.
Tugging them.
Honestly, it does. This is bad. A lot of these questions end up being Conor, but I think it's just you kind of have to go Conor right now, just based off of we kind of haven't gotten to that next, big era, and like deciding of what the new era is, and so it's still kind of to the point to where we're at right now is because of Conor, and Conor just came back again too. And it's like, I think UFC would be not as big as it is unless someone like Conor or Conor came and did what he did. And so just right now, I would have to say the current UFC right now is based off of the only person to describe it of would be Conor. No matter his losses or anything, his impact on the UFC was way too big to put him down and say that he had no impact on it.
No, that's a fair point. If you're going to go a little more modern, Blake went a little kind of semi-modern. I'm going to go a little more back in time. And let's talk about a prime Chuck Liddell. This dude was an absolute animal in and outside the octagon. This dude's the passion, and he really was an embodiment of what the early UFC was. It was this tough, gritty fighter that got into slugfests and made himself almost larger than life. The Iceman, Chuck Liddell, he had those irreplaceable shorts that had the blue shorts with the ice on them. And this dude was in commercials. I remember one of the things I remember him. He was in like a Duralast car battery commercial, just like blowing a bunch of crap up and beating a bunch of stuff up. Just normal Chuck Liddell stuff,
Normal
Chuck Liddell stuff. But this guy was an animal. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time, and it also sucked that he was also one of the guys that held on for way too long. He should call the retirement when Dana told him to. But it is what it is. But this is a guy that when someone says UFC, he is one of the first fighters to pop up into my head. And there's just this aura around the Iceman. And I think it's very hard for fighters to rival the kind of impact he had on the sport and the feeling that you have every time you bring up the name Chuck Liddell.
Did you guys end up hearing that story that Dana White was telling about how originally Tito Ortiz was supposed to be the original face of the UFC, and then they ended up bringing Chuck Liddell in to spar with him, and Chuck pretty much destroyed him in seconds because Tito was mostly just a wrestler.
That's what started the rivalry, man.
That's what started the rivalry, yeah.
Great story.
I heard that story and I was like, what the?
You guys got to go listen to the story, but great.